And he joins us right now. The new film is called Tenet, and he is named John David Washington. John David, how you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, man. You know what? I'm excited. I'm excited that we're finally going to get to see Tenet because, I'm sure for you, it's been a maybe not the most ideal scenario of the kind of the stop and start, but how does it feel now that people are finally getting to see this movie?
Well, yeah. At first, I was, I was a little discouraged, and obviously, I want safety first. So, but ironically, I say would have it. I think it actually is the perfect time. It is the proper moment for a movie like this to come out and be reintroduced to communities that now feel safer to come out and see a movie, go to the movies. It's that's the perfect movie to come back to.
Yeah, what's crazy about the movie and what's great about Christopher Nolan is I feel like he's reached that level of like a Steven Spielberg. When you hear there's a new Christopher Nolan movie coming out, you don't even need to know what it's about. I don't think most people don't know what it's about. They just want to go see it.
Well, and I think that yes, I agree with you. When you get a heightened sense of that due to the times that we're in, like they just, we'll take anything right now. And fortunately for us, this isn't just anything. This is something so innovative. This is something like that has never been done before. His most ambitious film. Like I keep saying, it's just the perfect movie to come back to the theaters for.
What can you tell us though about the film? Because you can get some sense of it might have to do with time, but what is if someone hasn't seen a trailer, they don't know anything about it, what could you say would be the elevator pitch of what this movie is without giving anything away?
Well, it appeals to what is it appeals to us that are wondering, that have great wonder about the world, our lack of travel now, how we have to be careful about things. It's shot in 7 different countries. So we're going to get a wide globe-trotting scale of what the world looks like, reminded of what the world looks like, through the eyes of the protagonist, the character that I play. You get your spy genre, your espionage genre, you get your high-octane action thriller genre, put that all in the blender of a Christopher Nolan, that's what you get. So you're getting something that we're familiar with in a way and something that is unfamiliar and something innovative, something sort of prolific, in my opinion, and it's just the perfect movie to come back to.
How did you and Chris Nolan get linked up? Was it a phone call? Did he see some of your work and say, "Man, you'd be perfect"? How did y'all kind of connect?
Yeah, he had been able to see some of my work, and I got a call from him, and we had a meeting. It wasn't anything about anything specific. We just got to know each other. I didn't know if I was auditioning or not. Even in the meeting, I never felt like it was an audition to get to know each other. I just felt like, because he worked in such secrecy, I had no idea what he was working on, what he had up his sleeve. But it was just nice to talk to him, and I knew for the rest of my life I could say at least I met with him for 2.5 hours. I could say that. And months later, he asked me to come on board, and I did. It was great.
That's got to be just one of those incredible feelings because I know you started on the football side of things and then you transitioned to acting. Yeah. So when I started my career, whenever you start a new profession, you look for your OG, for lack of a better term, right? You look for the guy that you can go to. For me, it was Booker T, the pro wrestler. That was my OG. He laid it all out for me, the game, right? For you, right. Going from football into acting, you already had the ultimate OG in your father, Denzel, of course. Was he the person that you went to, obviously, with all your questions, or did you seek someone else out in the entertainment industry to have a different perspective than somebody within your family?
Well, I mean, I think like most African-American actors, we all look for Denzel. I mean, having a career like his is what you want. So that's the ideal career. So, but I've been blessed. I've been fortunate to have people in my life that have really helped me along the way. To start with is the great Peter Berg, who did Friday Night Lights. He directed the pilot of Ballers, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, give me loads of advice in this industry, really on some brotherly, fraternity type of vibe. So it was great. Spike Lee, really, I think of him like an uncle. Working with him, his belief in me, everything he's taught me about the industry has been great. And Christopher Nolan, who I look at as like another father, like a godfather of sorts, really has taught me a lot about the industry. Like he's given me so much information, and I just, I'm a fan of theirs, and I admire them so much. So I'm just lucky in that regard to people that I admire and look up to, that I've been able to have relationships with.
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing just to have one, and it sounds like you've had several. You brought up though Ballers. That was the first time I saw you, and I loved the show.
Mm.
Obviously, I'm a pro wrestling fan and a boxing fan, so I run into Omar Miller at a lot of the boxing
Oh,
events.
love
Me
boxing.
me and
Yeah, yeah.
him, yeah, me and him, we'll watch the Deontay Wilder fights together. And then when I saw The Rock was in this thing, I was like, man, this is such a great show. Talk about though. You said that Rock was one of the guys that you went to. He's someone who I look to, and I don't even know him. I look at his Instagram to get inspired. How did you
Right.
were you inspired by his work ethic and his seemingly unstoppable energy?
I asked him if he sleeps, and he laughed and said yes, but I don't believe it. He is a workaholic. But what I admire the most about him, I think, is he is a man of the people. He really does still take the time for the people out there, his fans. And as big as he is, as much of a celebrity as he doesn't forget that it's never lost upon him. And he doesn't detach himself from that. He's never too big to come down and reach some people. So for that, so there's a humility there still, and he's one of the highest grossing actors ever. So I see that and I watch that and take note of that for sure.
Yeah, I would imagine that sleep is his enemy at some times, but the man still finds a way to get everything done, just like you. You have Tenet, of course, it's coming out now. People are finally getting able to see it. What was a light bulb moment for you? I think every time in any profession, again, you have that moment to where it all starts to make sense. Like, oh, that's what they meant when they said that. Did you have a light bulb moment on set working with somebody like Christopher Nolan, who's such a brilliant director, where he said something or he put something in a certain way that all kind of made it make sense for you?
Couple of times, yes. One of them, he said as simple as this. He said, "Trust your instinct," and I was like, "Oh, great," which told me a lot. Which meant he trusted me for one, but also that he's telling me that I understand at least enough about the script that I should just use. Don't overthink it. That he picked me for a reason. Spike Lee, he would yell at me like, "Just trust your instinct. Don't worry about it." I begged him for a couple takes one time and a couple more takes. He said, "You got it. You nailed it. We're moving on. Don't worry. Trust me." So those moments like that, no, amongst others, but those particularly mean a lot to me. The light bulb going off because it just informs me that I'm good at what I do, or they think I'm good at what I do, and to keep going.
Are you like big? Are you hard on yourself? Because I feel like anybody who's in the game at all, you have to be self-critical and self-aware of everything. Does that ever hinder your performance? Or when people like Nolan and Spike Lee are saying trust your instincts, they're good instincts. You start to not even worry about that.
Well, that's what's hard for me to watch myself on screen. It's really hard to watch movies I'm in, so because I'm hypercritical, and that could be due to football. Those film session studies when the coach is yelling at you, even when you got a first down, it's still something you can do better. So that's forever ingrained in my psyche. When and it's not like watching film in the NFL or football. You just there to enjoy the film and the movie, but it's still something I haven't gotten over yet. So, but it is encouraging to hear words like that and that kind of encouragement from your betters, really.
Absolutely. And then in this film, you got to work with the man who's going to be the new Batman, who I think that Robert Pattinson, a lot of people think about him for these Twilight movies, but this guy is a legit serious actor, and he's so great on screen. Working with him must have been a real fun opportunity. And I don't know, did talking with Batman make you want to jump into maybe a superhero genre?
Well, he is his take on Bruce Wayne is going to be. I think that's going to be the key. I think he's going to kill that. And when people see what he does, he's going to be on the pantheon, the great Bruce Wayne, the Batman. He's going to be an incredible Batman. He's sneaking. He's quietly, low key, a great athlete himself, and very athletic. And you saw it in the trailer as well. So I'm very. I can't wait to see what he does.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, John David, I appreciate you taking the time, man. The film is called Tenet. Give to the people just one more reason. Why do they need to go out and see this movie?
To escape your realities for 2.5 hours, it's worth it. To see something you've never seen before, an experience you've never had before.
All right. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know a lot of people are. That is John David Washington. John David, thank you so much for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.